What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and in this video we're going to be comparing the specs and features of the Samsung Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge to the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. So both the S6 and the S6 Edge were announced by Samsung yesterday and they're offering some great specs and features. Now, how do they compare to what was probably one of the most popular smartphones of 2014, which was the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. If you guys remember my top 5 smartphones of 2014 video, from the public vote, it actually got roughly about 52% of the votes. So a very popular option for a lot of you. So what are the key differences between these? Well, do hit that thumbs up button and let's find out. Starting off with the size difference, the Note 4 is a larger device, so the S6 comes in roughly about 10mm smaller in terms of the height, 8.1mm in terms of the width, and it's also roughly 1.7mm thinner, so it is compact all around. And the same goes for the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, which is even smaller, 11.4mm in terms of the height, 8.5mm in terms of the width, and also 1.5mm in terms of the thickness. So Samsung have gone for some thin devices here, both of them coming at roughly about 7mm thin, so very thin here. Now the Note 4, it is larger because it has that larger screen, so you've got a 5.7-inch screen here versus the 5.1-inch screens on the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge. Now the special thing about the S6 Edge is the fact that you've got curved displays on both sides, so you've got the edges compared to the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge, which had just one single edge. Now you've got dual edges, so these are going to be quite useful, and we'll be talking about some of those additional features that you get with those edges a little bit later. Now moving on to the resolution, so you've got QuadHD displays here on both, so that's a 2560 by 1440. On the Note 4, because it's a larger screen, it works out to roughly about 515 ppi pixel density. On the S6 and the S6 Edge, you're looking at roughly about 577 ppi pixel density, so not a huge difference in terms of the PPI. If you bring the device closer, then you might just be able to notice a little bit of a difference, but great resolutions and great displays on both of these here. Now moving on to the weight, the S6 and the S6 Edge also come in quite a bit lighter, so 38 grams for the S6 and roughly about 44 grams for the S6 Edge. So overall you're looking at much more compact devices here on the S6 and the S6 Edge, although you are going to get probably a little bit more of a better viewing experience because of that larger screen on the Note 4. Now there's differences in build as well. We've got premium builds all around. So the Note 4, you've got that metal frame with that plastic soft touch back. Now because you've got a plastic back, that does allow for a removable back, which we'll be touching on a little bit later, and it was a very good build. It's personally one of my favorites of 2014. It gave the device good grip because of that soft touch back, and it also made it feel quite premium because of that metal frame. Now with the S6 and the S6 Edge, they've got rid of the full plastic build, which we're glad to see, and now you've got a metal frame with glass panels on the front and the back, so they've got Gorilla Glass 4, so this is supposed to be quite tough. It definitely looks quite premium in terms of the feel. We'll have to see. It might not be as grippy as the Note 4. Now moving on to the internals, what's powering these devices, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 has the Snapdragon 805, and that comes in at quad-core 2.7 GHz. It's very fast and snappy. Maybe the occasional lag here from TouchWiz, but generally speaking it's probably one of the fastest devices of 2014. Now in comparison with the S6 and the S6 Edge, they've not opted for the Snapdragon 810 like we've got with the HTC One M9 as well as the LG G Flex 2. Now this is said to be because of heating issues, but we've got the Exynos octa-core chip, so that's 64-bit, and it's supposed to be more efficient and also less draining on the battery as well. This is what Samsung have said. We are going to have to put the performance of these side by side to see how much better the Exynos chip actually is. In terms of RAM, you've got 3GB on both of these, so this should be great for your multitasking. Now one difference however is that the S6 and the S6 Edge have DDR4 RAM, so this is supposed to be quite a bit faster compared to DDR3. Now moving on to the storage options, so this is really interesting. So with the Note 4 you've got 32GB, so large storage option here, but it's just the single storage option, whereas with the S6 and the S6 Edge you do have multiple storage options, so you've got 32GB, 64 and also 128 gigs, so these are going to be priced differently. Now the S6 and the S6 Edge both come with Universal Flash Storage 2.0, which should give you faster read and write speeds. Now, this is something that's probably going to come as a shock to a lot of Samsung users who have been used to expandable storage, but on the S6 and the S6 Edge, you do not have any expandable storage. So you don't have a removable back and you don't have expandable storage. So this might be quite disappointing for a lot of users. With the Note 4, you can expand by up to 128 gigabytes using a micro SD card. So this is something quite negative from my point of view as well. This is something that we've been used to seeing from Samsung. So the fact that they've taken it out altogether is a little bit disappointing, but you do start off at a larger base model. Something like the iPhone still starts at 16 gigabytes even though you do not have expandable storage. So this is going to come down to your personal decision here. Now, moving on to the cameras. So the Note 4 has a 16 megapixel rear-facing camera with optical image stabilization. Now, this was probably one of the best cameras of 2014. Nice crisp clear shots with lots and lots of detail and great colors. You can see lots of examples on the channel. I use that as my daily driver for quite a few months and take lots and lots of shots with it and been very, very impressed. Now, with the S6 and the S6 Edge, they've also stuck to a 16 megapixel sensor rather than going for something higher, but you do also have optical image stabilization this time, which is absolutely great to see. And they've got some additional features to make things really, really quick. So you've got fast tracking autofocus as well, so it's going to be able to pin and track your subject for focus. You've also got quick start, so you can tap the home button twice and that's going to bring up the camera so you don't have to miss those shots. We are going to have to put these side by side to see the quality difference between these two. In terms of video, both of these film up to 4K, so that's 2160p. Now, the fact that you've got optical image stabilization is going to mean that you're going to get stable 4K footage. On the S5, you did not have optical image stabilization or even digital stabilization, so this is great to see. Now, for the front-facing cameras, the Note 4 has a 3.7 megapixel front-facing camera, which is capable of filming 1440p resolution, so higher than 1080p. It's a good front-facing camera overall, and I have been quite impressed with it. We're using it in my time. Again, you can see lots of examples on the channel, and it's got a 1.9 aperture, so it is pretty good for low light shots as well, and it's pretty wide, so good for your group selfies. Now, with the S6 and the S6 Edge, you've got a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. It also has an f1.9 aperture, so this again should be pretty good for low light. We will have to put these side by side. Now, you do have some additional features, so you've got real-time HDR from the front-facing camera, so that should be pretty good, and you've also got a special low-light mode, which is going to take multiple shots and combine them together to give you better low-light selfies. So these are some additional improvements that you've got here on the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge. Now, resolution wise for the video, I would expect it to also be 1440p, although they have not fully confirmed this as yet. But because you've got a high resolution in terms of the photos, I would expect that you'd also have 1440p, at least 1080p from the front facing camera. Now, moving on to the operating systems, the Note 4 currently has KitKat, so that's at 4.4.4, so Android KitKat. Still not got the Lollipop update as yet. I'm still waiting for it. It should be coming soon. Now, with the S6 and the S6 Edge, it's going to come with Lollipop outside of the box. Both of these do come with the TouchWiz interface on top, however, so this is something that's been a little bit negative for a few people. It does come with some additional features, especially for the S Pen, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. But with the S6 and the S6 Edge, it's said to have been cut down a lot. 40% of the features have been cut down. I'm not sure how they've measured this, but this will be quite interesting to see. And they've gone for a zero lag model, so they're saying that you're not going to get any lag whatsoever when going through the system. So this is something we're going to have to test out hands-on when the devices are released. Now, moving on to the additional features, the Note 4 does come with a fingerprint scanner, but it's a swipe fingerprint scanner, so this is a little bit annoying, and it is better than the S5, but you still have to swipe, and this is something that put a lot of users off. I personally just ended up switching it off, because even at that, especially at that large size of device, trying to swipe your finger is just not practical. Now, with the S6 and the S6 Edge, you have a touch fingerprint scanner, so rather than having to faff around and swipe, you can just touch to unlock. So this is said to work similarly to Touch ID, like you've got on the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. So this is quite interesting. You've also got Samsung Pay, so this is going to use NFC as well as MST to allow you to make payments and authorize them with that fingerprint scanner. So this is also great to see. I'm not sure how much of this is going to come over onto the Note 4, because you might not get MST, but because it also has NFC, so maybe we'll be seeing a version of Samsung Pay coming on to the Note 4. This this is not confirmed as yet. Now, both of these devices also have a heart rate monitor at the back. Now, this is something that you may or may not use. You can also use it to take selfies, for example, so as a shutter button rather than just for your heart rate sensor. Another difference that you have here is the fact that the Note 4 has a back-facing speaker, whereas on the S6 and the S6 Edge you have a bottom-facing speaker, so this should have somewhat improved sound when viewing the device front on. And looking at the unique features that these devices offer, with the Note 4 you have the S Pen, so the S Pen is really useful and it's something that I do find myself using. So if you want to jot down some notes, it's really good. It also recognizes text, so it will turn handwritten text into usable text. So if you put down a contact or something, you've also got things like screen write, so you can jot down some notes on the screen. And what's really great about the S Pen, which I find, is that you can use it as a mouse. So if you want to do multiple selecting for things like text or images, then you can just click and drag, and this works really well. Now, you don't have the S Pen with the S6 or the S6 Edge. The unique feature that you have on the S6 Edge are those curves. So on either side it does curve down. Looks really slick in my opinion, but you're also going to get some additional features. So for example, you're going to have some notifications that are going to pop up on there. This is going to work similarly to the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge. Also the time, so you can have the time displayed at very low brightness while it's on your desk at night. So this way you don't have to have a tabletop alarm clock or anything like that. You can just have this on here and it's going to display the time. And you can also use it to launch applications, so you can use it as a shortcut to launch applications. The new feature that you've got on the S6 Edge, which we did not have with the Samsung Galaxy Note Edge, is the fact that you can assign some contacts, so you can quickly access your contacts from these edges. But as well as that, you can assign different colors to 5 favorite contacts, and these will glow when they're calling you. So if it's on the table, then it'll be glowing and you'll be able to tell who's calling you before even picking up the phone. So these are some interesting new features. The other thing that you've got is that it's on double edges now, so you know, whether you're left or right handed, this is not something that you have to worry about too much. Now, moving on to the batteries, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 comes with a 3220 mAh battery, which is removable, and this gave me some good usage. So I got through pretty much most of the day without any issues during my usage, and I have been using it for some time. So a very large battery. Now with the S6 you've got a 2550 mAh battery. With the S6 Edge you've got a 2600 mAh battery. So smaller batteries here on the S6 and the S6 Edge. Now the key thing here is that neither of these are removable, so this is something that, once again, because of not having that removable back, they've compromised on. Now they have said that they've improved battery life to a point where they think that you don't need a removable battery, and they've also included wireless charging out of the box that's built in, and you can use wireless charging straight away. With the Note 4 it's not available out of the box, you need to get a separate unit. I've actually shared one previously, so you actually have to buy that additionally, put that inside the case, and then that will give you wireless charging. But with the S6 and the S6 Edge, these are built in. Now all of these devices come with fast charging. Now fast charging is brilliant, it's a lifesaver, I have to tell you from personal experience. You can get from 0 to 50% in roughly about 30 minutes. So if you are going somewhere and you need a quick charge and top up, then this works really well, and this is available here on all devices. Now finally, moving on to the prices, so the Note 4 is currently available and you can pick it up for roughly about 450 to 500 pounds in the UK, around about 600 to 650 dollars in the US. Now this no doubt will come down as soon as we have the releases of the S6 and the S6 Edge. Now with these, you don't have any confirmed pricing as yet. The release date is set for 10th of April, so that's the date to put on your diaries. And I'd expect it to be between 600 to 650 pounds, maybe 600 for the S6, and around about 650 for the S6 Edge on release, and 700 to 750 dollars in the US. This price will be on release and probably come down a little bit. That's my prediction. So there we have it, the S6 and the S6 Edge versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. So overall, you've got some great devices here in my opinion. The Note 4 is still a great device. It's roughly about 6 months old now, so you are going to be able to pick up a better deal. And if you're looking for a larger screen with the larger battery as well, and the fact that you still got removable battery as well as expandable storage, these things which are not available on the S6 and the S6 Edge, so if those are important to you, then the Note 4 will still be a great option. And you also have that S Pen. However, if you want the latest device and you want something that looks quite a lot different compared to the previous Samsung models, then the S6 and especially the S6 Edge will be some good options for you. What do you think of these devices? Which one do you think you'll be going for? Will you be sticking to the Note 4 if you already have one? Do drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please do hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help me out. Why not subscribe to the channel? I've got plenty more content coming up in here, including full hands-on reviews and comparisons of the S6 and the S6 Edge as soon as they are released. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time. If you want to see more regular videos like this one, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, which will be below. If you're on a mobile device, it may be somewhere else. If you want to see my previous related video, then hit the link right here. If you want to stay in touch over Facebook, Twitter and Google+, then all of the addresses will be there somewhere, as well as direct links in the description below. Okay, if you're still watching, then that means you've not done one of those things, so no. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go downstairs. See. Okay. There isn't really a downstairs. Anyway, so yeah.